Hello, this is Dark Whispers of Korea. Today's story is The Rat's Reflection, a tale inspired by the JwidungapSeolhwa legend. Let's listen together. The Hanok in Bukchon had been in Minjun's family for 4 generations, its curved roof tiles weathered by Seoul's relentless seasons. Minjun stepped through the courtyard, his designer shoes clicking against the stone path his great-grandfather had laid by hand.
Another day, another empty house.
He spoke to no one, as always. The words dissolved into the October air. Inside, he dropped his briefcase and pulled off his tie. His nail clippers sat on the bathroom counter, chrome and sharp. Clip, clip, clip. Each nail fell into the porcelain sink.
Perfect.
The nail clippings swirled down the drain. Minjun didn't notice the small shadow that darted behind the toilet, or the tiny scratching sound from inside the walls. 3 weeks passed. Work, home, clippings, sleep. Then came the morning when Minjun woke to find his reflection brushing its teeth without him.
What the hell?
He stood frozen in the doorway, watching himself in the mirror move independently. The reflection's eyes met his.
You're late for work.
Minjun's voice, but wrong. The reflection smiled with his mouth, but the expression felt alien.
This isn't possible.
Possibility is irrelevant.
The reflection stepped through the mirror like stepping through water. It stood in Minjun's bathroom, solid and real, wearing his face.
You should eat something. You look dead.
You can't be here. You're not real.
The reflection walked past him, and Minjun felt the displacement of air, smelled his own cologne on something that shouldn't exist. Minjun heard his own voice calling his building maintenance, scheduling repairs, ordering groceries, living his life better than he ever had. The front door opened. Minjun rushed to the window, watching his doppelganger drive away in his car.
No, 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 no.
Hours passed in paralyzed confusion. By evening, the reflection returned, carrying takeout and whistling a tune Minjun had forgotten he knew.
Mrs. Kim asked about you today. I told her we'd take her grandson to the fire station.
We don't have time for that.
We do now. I quit your job.
The words hit like a physical blow.
You what?
That job was killing you. Slowly. Like clipping away pieces of yourself until nothing was left.
The reflection unpacked jjajangmyeon, and the smell filled the hanok. Minjun's stomach betrayed him with a loud growl.
Eat. We need to talk about the rats.
What rats?
The reflection pointed to the corner. Minjun turned and saw them. Dozens of small eyes reflecting lamplight from the shadows. Rats everywhere, on the counters in the corners, watching with unnatural stillness.
Oh God.
They've been collecting your pieces. Every nail clipping, every hair. building something from what you threw away.
One rat scurried forward, larger than the others, and opened its mouth. Minjun's own voice came out.
Same routine, same house, same everything.
That's what I said. That's my voice.
You gave it away. Now it's theirs.
The rats began moving in formation, circling Minjun and his reflection like a dark tide.
Every piece you discarded, they claimed. In 3 weeks, they've collected enough to make something.
The rats piled on top of each other in the corner, forming a grotesque tower. And at the top, a shape began to emerge. A face. Minjun's face, made of fur and teeth and stolen pieces.
Make it stop.
I can't, only you can, by stopping the waste, by keeping yourself whole.
The rat thing collapsed, scattering into dozens of individual rodents that vanished into the walls. Minjun sank to his knees, hyperventilating. The reflection knelt beside him.
Breathe. You're okay. They can't hurt you. Not yet.
Not yet?
They're waiting for you to throw away enough pieces that there's nothing left. Then they'll take the space you vacated.
Minjun looked at his bandaged hand where he'd punched the mirror that morning. Blood had seeped through the gauze.
That's why I'm here, to fill the void before something worse does.
The reflection checked its phone and smiled.
Your mother called, wants to have lunch tomorrow. I said yes.
You can't just live my life.
Watch me.
For the next week, Minjun became a ghost in his own home. The reflection went to interviews, made friends with neighbors, laughed with his mother over kimchi jjigae. Minjun listened from the bedroom, feeling himself fade a little more each day. His skin grew paler. His reflection in mirrors became harder to see. On the 8th day, Minjun woke to find he could put his hand through the wall, not breaking it, phasing through it like mist.
No! No, no, no!
He was disappearing, becoming nothing. The reflection was taking over completely. The reflection stood in the doorway, holding 2 cups of tea.
I made this the way your father used to. Extra honey.
Give me back my life.
I'm trying to give you a life worth living, but you have to want it.
The reflection set down the teacups, the ones with hand-painted cranes that Minjun had never used.
Your father died 3 years ago, and you've been dying with him, piece by piece. I'm not stealing your life, Minjun. I'm stopping you from throwing it away.
Minjun stared at the tea, at the steam rising like small prayers.
I don't know how to come back.
Yes, you do. Drink the tea. It's a start.
Minjun's hand trembled as he picked up the cup. The tea was perfect, exactly how his father made it. The warmth spread through his chest like forgotten sunlight. And for the first time in 3 years, Minjun tasted something instead of just consuming it.
It's good.
Everything is good when you're actually present to experience it.
The scratching in the walls grew louder, angrier. The rats knew they were losing their claim.
They're not happy. You're choosing to exist again.
Rats began pouring from every crack and crevice, hundreds of them chittering with rage. They swarmed toward Minjun, but the reflection stepped between them, arms spread wide.
You can't have him. Not anymore.
The rats formed their tower again, but this time it was taller, more solid. The rat thing at the top had Minjun's face, his voice, his memories.
He doesn't want to exist. He told us so. Every nail he clipped was a prayer for erasure.
That's not true.
Isn't it? You've been committing suicide in slow motion for 3 years.
The accusation hit home. Minjun looked at his reflection, then at the rat thing, then at his own fading hands.
Maybe I was, but I'm not anymore.
Minjun stood and walked toward the rat thing. The reflection tried to stop him.
Don't.
I need to face this myself.
Minjun approached the writhing mass of rats. Up close, he could see his nail clippings woven into their fur, his hair braided into their tails.
You're made of everything I hated about myself. The weakness, the grief, the fear of feeling anything.
We are you.
No, you're what I tried to throw away, but I'm taking it back now.
Minjun reached out and touched the rat thing's face. The moment his fingers made contact, the creature exploded into thousands of fragments. Rats scattered in every direction, and as they fled, Minjun felt pieces of himself returning. Memories, emotions, the ability to taste tea and notice flowers, and care about 7-year-olds who dream of being firefighters. When the last rat disappeared into the walls, Minjun turned to his reflection. They looked at each other for a long moment.
Thank you.
Don't thank me. I'm you. We saved ourselves.
The reflection walked to the cracked bathroom mirror and pressed its palm against the glass.
Ready to be whole again?
What happens if I say yes?
We integrate. You get all the growth I've achieved, and I get to stop being separate. We become one person again.
Will it hurt?
Healing always hurts a little, but it's a good hurt.
Minjun walked to the mirror and pressed his palm against his reflections. The moment they touched, light exploded from the point of contact. Minjun felt himself being pulled forward through the glass into a space that was neither the bathroom nor the mirror, but somewhere in between. A void filled with every version of himself he'd ever been. He saw himself at 7 laughing, at 15 falling in love for the first time, at 23 holding his father's hand in the hospital. Every moment, every emotion, every piece he'd tried to discard.
This is you, all of you. Do you accept it?
Yes.
The void collapsed inward and Minjun gasped as he slammed back into his body. He was standing in front of the mirror, alone, but whole. The cracks in the glass had vanished. Minjun looked at his reflection. It moved when he moved, smiled when he smiled. Normal, ordinary, perfect. A text from Mrs. Kim. Sung-ho is so excited for tomorrow. Thank you for being such a good neighbor.
Tomorrow, the fire station.
Minjun smiled, a real smile, and in the mirror his reflection smiled back, synchronized and whole. He walked to the kitchen and pulled out the teacups with hand-painted cranes. Tomorrow he'd have tea with Mrs. Kim. Tomorrow he'd watch a 7-year-old discover the wonder of fire trucks. Tomorrow he'd start living again. But tonight he carefully collected his nail clippings from the bathroom counter and placed them in a small box. Not garbage, not offerings to rats and void, just pieces of himself treated with the respect they deserved. In the walls, the scratching had stopped. The rats were gone, and Minjun, for the first time in 3 years, was complete. The hanok settled around him with ancient groans, no longer haunted by his slow disappearance, but embracing his return. Outside, soul hummed with endless possibility, and Minjun, whole at last, began to write in his journal.
Today I stopped dying. Today I chose to live.
The end.